Where is Brian Laundrie?
I just want to, that was kind of a little bit hard.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, aka PURPLEXEDQT. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So much to say and a lot of confusion, but first, as usual, let's catch up to date with JB and see what he's got to say, because I have a lot to say, but I want to open up with them, so bear with me.
Hard to hear, but we're not the monsters that we're made out to be, are the words here from, again, two parents that are coming out here to their front lawn because, again, they're confronting protesters and trying to calm down their kids inside.
They're being confronted, I would say.
Yes.
They're being confronted.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. It's a what's the saying here, you guys? Teamwork makes the stream work.
Yeah.
Right. Let's continue playing here. This is now on Brian flying home on September 17, 2021, which we just found out from, again, Stephen Bertolino, the attorney. More details here at the top of the stream, but let's listen in here about this.
Here on the 17th. I don't know what day he left.
Did you see him on that trip?
Yes. He was telling me where they were going next. I FaceTimed with Gabby and the kids on that trip.
And that's it. As far, again, the full video on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, but those are some of the moments that we wanted to play back here for you on stream. And yes, we now have it confirmed from Stephen Bertolino, the attorney for Brian Laundrie, saying that there was a flight from Salt Lake City on September 17th. Got back. What was the dates, you guys? I just want to make sure. I have it right here. Yep, the 23rd.
Back on the 23rd.
And that's a period of how many? Is that six or seven?
It seems 7. It's
I
17.
got to count with my fingers.
That's a week.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
All right. On that topic, let me just say this, that I think some people, thank you, Scout, some people are kind of confused about. Why is this the first we're hearing about it? I'm going to tell you why. A, it's none of our business. B, this is probably why the parents didn't want her involved, because they knew she would sing like a bird. And C, when people asked me this morning, I truly believe it's a don't ask, don't tell. If they're not going to ask about this, then the lawyer's not going to tell. The lawyer is not going to offer information to the public, probably based on the FBI. I have no doubt that the FBI has told them, say nothing to the public. Rightfully so. That's just how the law works. So if people get mad or feel like, oh my God, they should have, why didn't they tell us? We as the public don't deserve to know anything. Yes, we want to know because we're curious or we're invested. But at the end of the day, it really does, they don't owe us an explanation. That seems to be the biggest gripe in this case, is that some people of the public feel that they owe something. They don't owe anything. They don't owe the public anything at all whatsoever. So people need to understand that before they, like I was talking to Molly before, and I said to her, hang on 1 second. Hey, I'm live, right?
Yeah, you got a dox in your chat.
Oh, I do? Who?
Yeah, just the mom Mazio.
Yeah.
That's my married name, Laura.
That's a dox?
Yeah, Mazio is my last name.
Yeah,
It's a new account.
I don't think that's towards that, though. Hold on, let me mute for a second. All right. Sorry about that. So, okay. So, yeah. I do not think that anything is owed. And like she said, Dog the Bounty Hunter came up with nothing new. This is all old information the FBI has. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, we're all like third graders here, counting the days.
Most of 7 days. Could have been a morning flight, but still.
Yeah.
It's a week. What's Gabby doing that time? She apparently is fine, right? Because she is she's FaceTimed at what, the 21st?
She said, I don't think she gave the date of when she FaceTimed. She said during Brian's trip from the 17th
And then the text,
to the 23rd.
the odd text about Stan.
That was the 27th.
27th. The sighting at the restaurant, the 27th. And I
Sighting at
believe
the bar,
in the
the
van,
26th.
and the van spotted by the video blogger from Spring Hill on the 27th, later in the afternoon.
Yeah, so the timeline coming together here, folks. But does it get us any closer to the major question, where is Brian Laundrie? I think that the more that the timeline comes together, but let me make one thing really clear, and then we're going to start to go rapid fire through our comment queue here of #AJB, #AMASA, #AWalt comments and questions here. I want to make this very, very clear. We've talked about this over the last month now, and I want to just hammer home this one point. We're all learning things that the FBI has likely known for a very long time. We're catching up here. So we're 3 weeks, you guys, behind the FBI as far as the information that they have received here, which means that right now, at this point in time, perhaps the FBI is 3 weeks ahead of us right now. So there's more information that could be coming out here in the days or weeks ahead that the FBI has just known for a considerable amount of time. It's ancient news to them. It's new to us, and it feels new and important to us. But this is all something that the FBI has had through interviews, official interviews conducted with individuals like Cassie Laundrie over, of course, the last several weeks.
And from time to time, these FBI files are made public occasionally, and you see how, and it would be years before that happened, if it happened.
Guys, let's take now your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyMasa, hashtag HeyWalt, questions and comments here, and we'll try to get through as many as we can. One more.
Brian didn't fly home on September 17th. It was actually August 17th. Get your dates right, WFLA. You're supposed to be reliable here. You can't even get the damn date right.
More here from Twitter. I promised I would take this one from Michaela. Hashtag HeyJB. Do we know why the attorney even mentioned Cassie's name at all? Kind of strange considering she's not his client. Masa, you're the perfect person to answer this as far as you being a former prosecutor here. Is it strange to you that Stephen Bertolino references Cassie by name, and he does, right? In of course the statement that was put out last night to Brian Entin and Others.
Wasn't it a couple of days ago?
And I'll bring that up here just so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, so I think what you guys are referencing right now is when we found out that Cassie had been, on September 1st, had seen Brian, her brother. On September 6th, had seen Brian, her brother. People reached out to the attorney for the Laundrie family. At the time, we didn't know exactly which Laundries he represented. And I think the attorney was trying to kind of give her side.
Here's the statement that was put out last night to the press from Stephen Bertolino. This was right after this confrontation occurred between Cassie Laundrie. Yes, yeah. So this is Stephen Bertolino saying, "I do not represent Cassie Laundrie." Cassie's comments.
No offense, Dana, but there's so much evidence to show otherwise that no, that's absolutely not what happened.
Can only be attributed to the press twisting my words and hers, which were only given to clarify prior mischaracterizations by the press with the hopes of further sensationalizing this tragic story here. And that's the end of the quote. But I just want to make this clear here. These questions and this all this information in this exchange that came out on the front lawn of Cassie Laundrie's home, this wasn't the press. This wasn't the press. This was protesters, not the press. So this is interesting here to Michaela's comment here, Masa, that he does twice in the statement reference Cassie Laundrie by name. Is that strange to you at all?
It's not strange to me at all. I think he's trying to do damage control on this story and to get out, facts when he feels that he can release facts, when he feels that it's advantageous to the Laundrie family to release the facts. And I think he was just trying to, this is a story that's blowing up all over the place. Every reporter in the country feels like at times is texting him for information, and I think he's making those calls in the moment when he's going to respond to the media, and he chose to try to provide some clarification. Well, not odd to me.
It's not odd to me either. To me, this is a don't ask, don't tell. I agree with her 100%. He's doing damage control, but again, he never owed us an explanation in the first place. So again, we may want to know stuff, but we don't have a legal right to know stuff. We're just the public. We're nobodies. So we have to keep that in mind when listening to this kind of stuff. But everything Cassie has done has been the reason her parents didn't want her involved. Plain and simple. She can't keep her mouth shut. And if I was her parents, I definitely want to keep her out of it. So were her parents protecting her, or were her parents just protecting their son? It's a good question to keep in the back of your mind.
No, I think, the one thing you can presume here is that he has an interest in the clients that he does have. And like Moss said, it could very well be damage control. And it sounds like he's putting some blame on the media. There's a lot of media involved. There's a lot of pseudo media involved that may not have the highest standards in the world. And so I think he's trying to, again, damage control, potential damage control.
And again, I want to make it clear here too. We didn't have it here in the snippet, but Cassie Laundrie is of the opinion that the attorney Stephen Bertolino threw her under the bus. And we talked about this last week on WFLA Now. And I said, if you're Cassie Laundrie and this is coming out about you, you're not feeling good at this particular moment in time. But let's try to carry the conversation forward. More of your comments and questions here. Tiffany Hag, #KJB. Cassie simply saying, "I don't know," when asked if her brother killed someone, says a lot.
That seems to be general consensus, that people look into that and say it means something. To me, it means she doesn't know. She just doesn't know. Would your brother kill his wife? I don't know. I would hope not. I would think not, but I don't know. She doesn't want to give the wrong answer. She doesn't know what the right answer is, but it's an honest answer. I don't know if he did. To me, that shouldn't be looked into so heavily. It just means I don't know. She did say he was never violent. Gabby's parents said he was never violent. So to me, I don't know means I don't know.
To me, Tiffany makes a good point here in that Cassie doesn't defend. And I pointed this out last night on Twitter. Cassie doesn't defend Brian here in this 20-minute clip. Doesn't say something to the effect of, "There's no way my brother is capable of such a horrific thing. He was in."
Look, I hate to say it, every single one of us are capable of committing murder. Whether it be a self-defense, whether it be someone breaks into your house, whether it be you have a crime of passion with somebody in a heated, toxic relationship, every single one of us, it takes 5 seconds to kill someone. It takes 1 second to shoot a gun at someone. So to say, I would not believe her if she said, "There's no way my brother is capable of committing murder," because every single one of us can commit that murder. Every single one of us can be in vehicular manslaughter. Every single one of us could be in a crime of passion. So to say that you absolutely are not capable of it is bullshit, because every single one of us are capable of murdering someone. Depending on the circumstance. Am I going to go do an armed robbery? No. Am I going to, walk into a bank? I'd like to. But am I going to walk into a bank and shoot someone's head off? No. That's not me. But am I capable of killing someone in a crime of passion? Oh, hell yeah. I've even thought about it.
In love with Gabby. They were going to be together forever. This is not the couple that you think. She didn't give a testimony or a plea to people to say that Brian was incapable of such a terrible act. And this is something that our commenters have been noting very much, at least over the last 12 hours since this clip surfaced online.
2 quick points. She did say that she has never seen Brian. I was trying to pull up the exact words, but she said that she had never seen Brian hit a woman, and that she hadn't seen any violent fights between Brian and Gabby. And at the end, she did say that Brian was the hero of.
Just real quick, all these comments, all these intelligent people, how come nobody realizes they have this date wrong? I cannot believe it hasn't been changed yet. I'm almost shocked that none of them are catching that this says September 17th, not August. It's annoying me already that nobody's pointing it out.
Of her children, and she wants and hopes that he is found alive, and the sooner the better.
I'm getting some tweets here, and I want to clarify a timeline, and that should say Brian flying home on August 17th, shouldn't it?
Thank you.
We apologize, guys.
And I think we did we were discussing the 6th. That's the camping trip.
September.
That was almost creepy. It was almost like he heard me. I mean, that was fucking creepy as hell. Like, he was like, boom.
But that is not the last time the parents saw him, right? They saw him the next.
14th is the
14th
last time. Yes,
is
sir.
the 14th, and yes, so
that was an editing mistake on the caption. Apologies there.
So the parents saw him for another week or so
According
after
to
the
their
6th,
statements.
and then reported him missing on the 17th
right.
to police on that Friday. That was a surprise to everyone.
Right.
The day after, the chief said, "We know where he is."
Yeah.
Well, you
Surprise,
don't. Nobody
sure.
knows where he is now.
Let's get to this next one here from Angie Hayden. Hashtag KJB. Have the airlines confirmed that he actually flew home? Because I don't see Gabby's dad letting her stay all alone out there.
I agree.
If they knew. Interesting comment here from Angie. Gabby Petito, 22 years old, staying out there in a probably a very unfamiliar place to her in Wyoming or in Utah or in Salt Lake City, all by herself.
I think I'd be afraid.
If it
the
was
middle of
my
nowhere.
daughter,
If it was my daughter, yeah. I mean, no, 100%. I'd be afraid for her. But I think even myself, in the middle of the woods, no lights, darkness, no help nearby, I'd be afraid. Good point.
and we don't. She could have been
But
likely.
she is 22.
She could have been in a hotel room making posts or not
Right.
making posts, but watching Netflix or, doing what a normal 22-year-old girl would do. But all alone there for nearly a week while your fiance flew home to Florida and you didn't go with your fiance to Florida and you're just kind of out there in a strange, unfamiliar place. I understand this comment here from Angie.
Yes.
Any additional words there?
August 12th, she had told the officers on the body cam video that she didn't want to be left alone that night. So maybe that was just an emotional state she was in. But that's it. That's all I have to say.
Joan Metcalf, hashtag AJB. Have Brian's parents made any new statements? You saw them, everybody just go like this,
Have
all
they made old
simultaneously.
statements? I don't know. They've made any. Have they made any statements?
It's just
Through the
all been
police.
through.
See, that's how I feel, Muffin. She didn't want to be without him for one night. She was freaking out over one night. You're going to tell me he left her alone for a week? I don't know. I need to see plain confirmation. I'm with that girl and JB, and I want to see actual plain confirmation. I'm not buying that he flew home until I actually see it on paper. Just from the way she acted, if she had all this time to work on her website, where are all the posts from the 17th to the 24th when he was allegedly gone? Where's all these posts? I'm just not buying it. Until I see hard proof. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's something, I don't know. I want hard proof.
Yeah. So no.
Yeah, no.
Does this now change the dynamic to where Bertolino says to Chris and Roberta, we need to clear the air here, and we need to speak, and we need to talk to the public at large? Or
It depends what we know about Bertolino. I know nothing about him other than this particular incident. There are attorneys who would say, don't talk, and by the way, don't talk. And there are attorneys who would say, you should get out there. Let's make a statement, right?
You can read this while I'm next to you.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know that we don't know enough about Stephen Bertolino. We probably could Google some things and find out. We don't know why they picked him. Did they pick him because he's from the area where they are from? That's possible. But that could go either way about coaxing them. But it is a good point, right? Your daughter is saying this. Do you need to clarify?
I'm very curious to see what happens here now. Is Cassie Laundrie, now that she's got the protesters off her lawn, and it did end with that, by the way. The protesters said, hey, we're gonna leave you be now. We're gonna let you go. And is Cassie Laundrie done telling her side of the story? Where does this go now from here?
I'm going to guess no, because she's probably talked more than anyone else in this case. Even the parents of Gabby Petito, right?
Yep.
Multiple times, multiple headlines, right? From almost day one.
Abby Palmer, hashtag AJB. Let's find Brian this week. I'm
Okay.
glad someone from the family is speaking out. I echo this. I want Brian Laundrie found. We all want Brian Laundrie found. We want answers. Just want answers. Mary Niemeyer, hashtag AJB. She didn't ask, where's Gabby? She was at their campsite for 6 hours. What did they talk about? This goes back to what you mean.
I said that too.
Masa, what we're just talking about here a short time ago. Just a few more questions in the queue here. But Mary saying, how was it not brought up for over a 6-hour camping visit? How do you not talk about Gabby? How do you not
Two
find
visits,
out more?
right? Two visits. The first and
Yep.
then the sixth.
The first, and then the ping-ponging back and forth. And how do you not talk? And it had to have come up. It had to have come up.
Let me play devil's advocate, though. We're only reflecting on what maybe we would do with our sister or our brother, right? If it was my brothers, yeah, they'd probably know everything. If it was my sister, they'd probably know everything. But families are different. We don't really know anything about the relationship of this family. So maybe they don't talk about those sort of things. That's possible, but I think most people are wondering exactly what Mary Niemeyer is wondering.
I'm a reporter.
What did they talk about?
I'm a reporter. I'm nosy. When I get together with family, I'm asking all the questions. Every question. I want
annoying. It's annoying, right? You're annoying. I'm annoying. I definitely am.
Right. And
that took everything I had to hold back. Just
no, it's true. I've had conversations with people. I'm naturally curious.
Me too.
I'm naturally curious, and I've said I feel like, and I've heard people say I feel like I'm being interviewed by a reporter. I said, well, I'm not. I'm just curious. I'm a very curious person.
I will say that Cassie did say that she was 8-9 years apart from her brother. I can't find the exact statement.
That's a good point.
But she basically said he's just a brother that I didn't hang out with that much, in sum and substance, something like that.
That's
she did
possible.
say that.
Anything's possible.
Age gap there, but let me just throw it back the other way for a second. If I had a sibling, a loved one, that just went on a cross-country road trip and saw the United States. Me again, Walt, to what you said, I'm a curious person. I'm asking my sibling about every spot. What was the best food you had? How much fun did you have with your wife? Oh my God, what was the best sight that you saw? What was fun? Were there challenges? Did you get a flat tire ever? Were you starving the whole time?
And going back.
Hold up. What JB is forgetting, for all we know, he told his parents, and this is a very logical situation, Gabby and Brian broke up. Don't ask questions to Brian about Gabby because it's only going to get him upset. That's my first thought. So JB or Walt maybe have never had a breakup like that, but I know that when I just break up with somebody, I don't want to talk about it. If my daughter breaks up with someone, she doesn't want to talk about it. Don't mention him. Don't ask about him because they just broke up. That is a very likely scenario that the parents said, don't ask about Gabby. He doesn't want to talk about it. We're just here to have fun. They split up and he hasn't spoken to her. Very likely scenario. And again, I don't think people should look into something that is not there. Hey, Brenda, welcome.
The timeline, we are at this point on the 6th of September. We're using our hindsight. Gabby's not missing on the 6th of September. She's not reported missing. We don't know anything until the 11th. We haven't met the parents until the following week. So we don't know that. And so if you superimpose your hindsight on this, why didn't you ask? Because now we know on the 6th, Gabby had been sadly dead for about a week.
What did they talk about for 6 hours? Allie Lines, hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt. This is the final couple here. Hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt. Do we know if they are still searching? And if so, do we know where? And we reported yesterday that the search had gone a little bit deeper into Carlton Reserve near Myakka River State Park. Search efforts ongoing there, still at the reserve. Until they say otherwise, there's a search going on at Carlton Reserve. Now, they could say at any moment, all right, we've wrapped up our search efforts here, but you have to remember that when they had boots on the ground there, and they do have boots on the ground, they said, we're committed to checking all 25,000 acres of this reserve. But you have to, if they're not searching there as much, then has the search shifted to a new area? And
do they want us to know where that new area is?
Right.
25,000 acres out there. 25, the size of a good-sized city out there. And I mean, and cameras. There are trail cameras. Have they seen something recently? I've reached out to the people last week who run the trail cameras. They said they were told not to talk about the trail cameras. So along those lines, maybe they've seen something. Maybe that's why they're still there. We don't know.
How about this last one? I'm very curious. I've had this one thrown my way on my WFLA JB. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter a whole lot. So I'm so glad that we're able to finally answer this question here with two, again, of our 8 on your side investigators, and Masa being a former prosecutor. Jennifer Marie Cook, hashtag HeyJB. If, and I have to prep, if this ends up going to trial, how will they ever find an impartial jury? Masa, you want to take this one?
I've been asking that a while.
You would try to move it out of the Tampa Bay area. You would, or wherever they might actually be in Wyoming. You could move to change the venue. You would have a really long process of questioning jurors. And,
voir dire?
Yeah. Yep,
And
and,
this-
trying to find
They-
people that are going to
they
be
all- they're
committed
out-
to
and again-
being impartial and listening
And
to the
again,
facts.
I don't know how closely you're watching this when you're home with your family, and I know that I've maybe scaled back a little bit, but I do.
Oh, this case?
Yeah,
I've
yes.
been watching it closely just because, trying to keep up with y'all.
Well, right. No, I know it's ridiculous. Like,
You guys are
and that's,
amazing,
That's
yeah.
my point. Is that the viewers who are with us now are. I'm going to use the word obsessed. I think they'd admit
They are
it.
not going. None of you guys are going to be on the jury.
I've sat in on big cases in small states. I've sat in on big cases. I've covered them in big states. That everybody knew about these particular cases, and you're still. There are
Absolutely.
occasionally people during the voir dire process. It's fascinating, and some people think, oh, they're making it up. They do know about it, but they want to be on the jury.
Well, it's not that you don't know about it. It's that you're committed to.
That's right.
You
That's
haven't
right.
made any.
That's right.
You haven't decided which way this
You're-
goes, and I think
You're
I
allowed
think-
to know about that.
Yeah,
You're allowed to know about the
it. I
case.
think people are fair.
If
and
I may,
think- yeah, go
if
ahead.
I may for a second, this was something that came up during the Derek Chauvin.
Okay, these people are fucking delusional. Like I said from the beginning, he will never get a fair trial. People are going to try to get on that jury. I wouldn't be surprised if people move to Wyoming to get on that jury. I am not buying the fact that he's ever going to get a fair trial. He will never get a fair trial. He knows he'll never get a fair trial. There's not a person in the world that doesn't know about this case. Think about it like this. Even a guy who was allegedly hiking in the Appalachian Mountains, he knew who Brian Laundrie was. Come on. You think this man's ever going to get a fair trial? No. Never going to happen.
Chauvin trial.
Sure.
The officer
Right.
in the George
Right.
Floyd case, right?
Right.
I mean, we're talking about and the defense was arguing that just the manic media and public attention had permeated the jury's minds, and that there was no way to find jurors that were completely obscure from all of the happenings and occurrences of what happened in this country with George Floyd and the aftermath of George Floyd. So it's very similar to that in that, how do you find an impartial jury? But to Masa and Walt's point here, you just do. You find jurors that are going to be objective, and you, as I think Masa noted, you look outside of the Tampa Bay area and you look for folks that aren't.
What is the jurisdiction for this case?
I was thinking about
the
that,
case.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
jurisdiction
we
is
don't know enough,
probably
yeah.
Wyoming
Yeah.
at this point, because
where the
that's
alleged
where the
crime occurred.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if that's the case, is it a federal case? Now,
Because
can
it
you
crossed so many
find
state
can you
lines.
find 12 jurors in Wyoming? Wyoming has 500,000 people in it. Think about it. I mean, I would bet you're more likely to find impartial jurors or people that maybe don't know it as well as others in Wyoming, and then each side gets a peremptory challenge, right? You get so many peremptory
you
challenges.
get so many, and we are getting so far ahead of ourselves.
I know.
with this.
We don't have
It is.
right, and we don't. And right now, the charge is it's a felony, but it's
Bank fraud?
It's
Bank
credit card fraud or
unauthorized,
debit card fraud.
unauthorized
Device use of device. Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Masa Saidi, Walt Buteau, joining us here, everybody, for extended coverage here on WFLA Now. Before we let you guys go, just kind of your final thoughts here. Masa, why don't you go first? What are you working on tonight? What are you going to be working on over the next several hours here? And is there anything else that you want to point out to our viewers that we did not cover here on this stream?
No, I'll be on at 5 and 6 tonight. I'm going to go work on that because it is, what time is it right now?
late.
It's late. It's 2:14, JB.
I kept you on a little
It's
longer than I
okay.
should
It's okay.
have.
We're glad to always be here with you, JB. I guess my final comments are that Cassie Laundrie did come out and she did speak with people that had been yelling outside of her home, and she answered their questions, and she said that she has been fully cooperating with the FBI, and she has told the FBI that everything that she knows, and she provided more context regarding the GMA interview that she gave, and it is up to everyone at home whether they want to believe it or not. That's it.
You'll see her tonight on WFLA News Channel 8. Walt Buteau,
thank you
what
so
are
much.
your final thoughts? What are you working on, and what are you going to be
I'm not
monitoring
working on
here?
a Petito-related story, but I'm working on a different investigation that'll be on at 6. But I'll tell you, I think that this just it's a little. I'm going to use the word troubling. Somebody criticized me for criticizing the protesters. Not many, but one or two. It's a little troubling that these folks were egged out of their house. They're not charged with anything. They're not suspected of anything by any law enforcement that we know of. They got egged on out of their house because of people with bullhorns on their street. People with bullhorns are allowed to be on that street, probably, unless it's a noise ordinance violation. But it is a little troubling about that. That's troubling. But they did offer some information and some insight that fills in the timeline, and I think that's appreciated. But they also have drawn the ire, it seems, of their parents' attorney at the same time. This
sets a precedent now, and you know, a couple here shouldn't be harassed into an interview. It shouldn't be harassed into coming outside of their home. Look, we knock on doors, and that's annoying enough. I've admitted, look, we're annoying enough. We'll knock on doors, we'll make phone calls, but I would not say we harass, and we do not stand. We are not allowed. I guess we would be allowed, but we do not use bullhorns from the sidewalk to get people to talk. But and I would just
that's what happened here.
I would like to point out too that the year is 2021. Cassie Laundrie could have done an interview from the comfort of her own home inside from her couch, done it on Zoom. We do Zoom. Yeah. How many Zoom interviews do we do in this newsroom every day?
A lot.
A lot. We do Zoom interviews all the time because, of course, the pandemic, and it's just really accessible and an easy way to, of course, get somebody on camera no matter where they are in the world. Right. And Cassie could have done this, answered all of these questions without the constant back and forth and talking over her and interjecting. And there was a lot here that could have been much more civil, and there could have been more.
That's exactly what I said last night, is that it was so ridiculous the way this troll interviewed her, kept talking over her. I totally agree with JB. It's exactly what I said last night. Rule number one in interviewing somebody, you let them speak. Rule number one in investigating somebody, you let them speak. You speak as little as possible, and you let them get all the information out. I did an interview with Terry Hobbs from the West Memphis 3. It's on this channel. It's last year. Did a full interview with him. I didn't speak much. I asked questions and I let him talk. That's how you interview people. Especially if you want information from them, you speak as little as possible. So I'm so disappointed of what we could have got out of Cassie as compared to what we actually got. Because at the end of the day, we really didn't get much.
More of a back and forth conversation. A investigator like Walt would have pressed on with a question about, why didn't you ask more questions about where Gabby was when you were with him on September 1st and on September 6th? Why wasn't that more specifically addressed?
You just re-asked that question kindly, though. These questions were shouted at them. But again, I don't want to get in trouble on Twitter again or Facebook about. But I've said it before. I think that it's just sad that the family's being harassed when nothing's been proven at all, nothing's been implicated at all with these two individuals on the screen right there.
8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Buteau joining us. Walt, thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, back here with you live, everybody on WFLA Now, and just with the protesters have of course, their constitutional right to demonstrate, and they were having a conversation here, and we learned a lot here we got a lot more clarification here as far as some of what Cassie Laundrie and her husband had to say here in this exchange that occurred quite literally on her front lawn here. So we were able to dissect some of that information. The tactics for which this interview was obtained are, let's just say, unorthodox, and I will just kind of leave it at that. Some are going to be, of course, say that it was very, very fortunate that we have this information now. Others are going to say that this was just crossing a line here as far as these two coming out of their home saying that their kids are inside crying and we just want some peace here for our children. So I understand that there's going to be people out there that are going to see the value in getting information here in this way, and then others who are going to say that this just crossed the line. It crossed the line as far as the tactics that were used here to speak to Cassie Laundrie and her husband here, when in reality she did another interview with Good Morning America. She did another interview with ABC. And it didn't include all the constant interjecting. It didn't include all the constant speaking over her. And there would have been a more civil back and forth conversation here had it not been, of course, an exchange here with protesters here in Lakewood Ranch. Let's kind of explain where we go here now and how this goes forward here. The full video is on WFLA.com. You don't want the snippets. You don't want the conversation. You don't want the analysis from me and Masa and Walt. You don't want all that. You just want to listen to it for yourself. We totally understand that. We've had it on our website for hours. So go and give it a watch. If you'd like to hear Cassie Laundrie, if you'd like to hear the exchange here just completely unfiltered, that's what you deserve. And that's what we're giving to you. And we didn't get that with the original first interview with Good Morning America. That full raw interview never saw the never saw the channels of Twitter and Facebook where we could get more of an understanding contextually as to what was being discussed. But we have that here for you. The entire full confrontation here, the entire full exchange, the video clip is on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. You can go over to Facebook. You can go over to YouTube. There's a link there in the comments there, and you can listen to it all for yourself there on our website. As far as where we go from here, we're on standby here on WFLA Now. Any new developments, we're here with you live. But there were a lot of questions and comments here that we were unable to get to here. So in the next 20 or so minutes, I'm going to go live on Instagram. I don't want to alienate our Instagram audience, especially considering that we had, of course, yesterday we had that outage, that massive outage on Facebook and on Instagram. So I'm going to head over to my WFLAJB Instagram. We're live on Facebook right now. So Facebook's covered. We've been bringing in your tweets. YouTube is covered. Hello there to YouTube. Hope everybody's having a good day out there on YouTube, and we're gonna now go live on Instagram. I'm gonna go live on Instagram on my WFLA JB Instagram account, take some more questions and comments, and if you follow me over there, I'll look for your hashtag HJB comments and questions over there so we can continue the conversation and do it with an audience. There's a lot of folks out there that just have Instagram and just use Instagram, so I would like to interact and engage with the audience there. That's coming your way in the next 20, maybe 25 minutes here, but let me explain. We're in standby mode on WFLA Now. We'll go live with any more new big developments here in the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito, Cassie Laundrie, Chris and Roberta Laundrie, this entire case, of course, this entire story. If there's any new developments, we're back here with you live on WFLA Now. And our article hub, all of the latest here on this story. It lives on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Our award-winning team working around the clock. Always on, always cranking out content as far as the latest here on Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. You can find it in our article hub, including a full timeline that we'll have to update. I believe that we have been updating with these new developments on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. I'm heading over to my WFLA JB Instagram account. Give me a few minutes here just to get a drink of water, and I'll see you guys over there in a few minutes on my WFLA JB Instagram. And again, the latest for you on this story on Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie shouldn't be all
right, so I'm just going to leave it on there instead of, WFLA or whatever. So I'm just going to keep it there. So let's talk about why I went live. I just wanted to open up with that. What's up, Kim? Couple questions that I have been presented to me over the last couple of hours. The biggest one is what is on my cover page, and that is, did Brian's parents not get her involved because they were protecting her or because they were protecting Brian? I've heard this from more than one person. A couple of people were asking me this. My personal opinion, they were protecting her. I don't believe for one second that most parents, not all, but most parents love one kid more than the other. Keeping her out of it means they may have known something. There's a very good chance that they knew something, and that's why they're keeping her out of it. If my brother did something, I don't think my parents would tell me because I have a big mouth. I don't think my parents would trust me enough to keep my mouth shut and not go ballistic. Not go ballistic on my brother, not tell my sister-in-law's family, not tell my niece, whatever. I know they didn't have kids, but, whatever. They would say, you know what? Let's keep Laura out of this. The less Laura knows, the better off we are. The better off everyone is, the less she knows about something that can incriminate somebody else. So in my opinion, I absolutely think that it had nothing to do with protecting him, but it did have to do with protecting her and protecting her kids and protecting her husband and protecting her family. You know, she said something in the interview yesterday that really stood out to me, and that was, the lawyer failed me. He threw me under the bus. No, he was never your lawyer in the first place, which is what I said originally yesterday, and I stick by that. I don't know why my nose is itchy. And I stick by that the lawyer was not her attorney. So the lawyer didn't throw her under the bus. It wasn't her attorney in the first place. Because she didn't know anything. She didn't need an attorney. She doesn't live with them. She's not home with them. So why would she need an attorney? She doesn't know anything. She doesn't need an attorney. So I find it just a bit odd that she would say the attorney threw me under the bus. I think her ego is hurt because she didn't know anything. I do believe she doesn't know if Brian killed her or not. And she doesn't know if her parents are involved because she's been kept out of the loop to protect her and her family from questioning. Protect her and her family from everything that's gone on. Protect her and her family from knowing the truth because obviously she's got a big mouth and she can't keep her mouth shut. So, thank you, Jana. Thank you. See, but that's what I keep saying, Jane, and I don't get why I don't have more people. But I do. It's, to me, it's so obvious that that's what went on. And I see so many other people just not grasp this concept and automatically look at the worst or automatically look at some, you know, the negative side, like, oh, she knew or she's lying or this or that. And I can never understand it because it's really simplistic. And unless you show me otherwise of where I'm wrong, unless someone can show me where I'm wrong, I'm sticking with that because that's, to me, it's common logic. He could have just said, I cannot answer for her. I don't represent her. Exactly. I don't believe he threw her under the bus. Welcome, Mar. I don't believe he threw her under the bus. I think he just doesn't represent her. And I said that yesterday originally. Hey, Adrian. Adrian, happy birthday. Today's Adrian's birthday, so happy birthday. Thank you, good vibes. By the way, tomorrow night, Joe Murray is coming on at 8 o'clock. I will set it all up. But yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Joe Murray's coming on. If you're not familiar with him, he's a retired detective who's now he's a lawyer. He usually goes on Duty Ron and Police Against the Cuff. He found me somehow. He actually thought I was a police officer, he told me, or a retired police officer. And that's it. So he'll be on tomorrow night at 8 to answer questions, answer legal questions, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. And, okay, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about was that. The other thing is, how do we know if Cassie Laundrie's telling the truth? Like, think about it. How do we know she's telling the truth? How do we know that on the first, Mom did say, oh, you know, your brother killed someone and blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you how we know that. Going back to my other theory about him being quiet, about him not telling anything, I really, truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that she knows more than what she's letting on, just like she knew he came home on the 17th, which nobody seems to find odd. But I do believe she's knows more about other things than she's letting on, but not that he actually killed her. But I'm strongly, strongly believe that the mom said, don't talk, don't ask about Gabby. It upsets him. You know, we want to have a good time. We want to enjoy today. Just don't ask about Gabby. And as a sister, you're going to say, okay, you're not going to ask. So, hey, Yarn. So I truly, happy birthday. I truly, truly believe that that's how this all went down. And that's why she didn't ask, where's Aunt Gabby? She probably got a heads up from mom about don't ask. So when people say that they believe that she is, that she may have known more, or why is she just coming forward now? Why is she saying stuff now? I do really believe that she's scorned and she's hurt, that she wasn't involved in anything. And I, again, believe that her parents did that to protect her. And no other reason. I don't believe there's a shady reason behind it. I don't believe that there's some, reason we don't know about. I truly believe it's just for protection. And I'm sticking with it. Like I said, until I see otherwise, that's what I believe. Not that everyone is missing Debbie. Oh, absolutely, Savannah. I've said it, I remember one time Phoenix had broke up with his girlfriend. He was traumatized. First love. He was traumatized. Mom, don't ask. When you see him, when you talk to him, don't ask what happened. Just let it go. Okay, she never asked. She spent a weekend, never asked. I think at the end she finally asked. But people are going to respect that. They're going to respect you just came back from a road trip and Gabby's not here. Nobody knows where Gabby is. Don't ask questions. He doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. Mar, that is so up in the air. I still want to see proof. I know she said that he came home on the 17th to the 24th or whatever to, clear out a storage locker to save money. Now, the story was, this is what I read before. The story goes that he flew home on the 17th to clear out their storage locker in order to save money to extend their trip. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't their trip supposed to go to October anyway? I can see clearing out a storage unit, but storage lockers in Florida are only like $50 a month. It cost him 3 times the amount to fly home from Wyoming or Utah, wherever they were. It cost him 3 times the amount to do that than it would to keep a storage unit for another 3 months. That's the part I don't get, and it doesn't make sense to me. Unless you used frequent flyer miles and you flew home for free, the logic between you're doing it to save money when a storage unit doesn't cost that much. Let me double check prices, because I had a storage unit many, many years ago in Florida. So let me just check prices. Storage units in Florida. Okay, $18 a month, Northport Storage. Okay. So if you go to Life Storage, it's about $100 a month up to, well, that's expensive, up to $330 a month. They weren't that old. I can't imagine they needed a 10 by 20 climate controlled storage unit. So, but maybe they did. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt. They took the highest storage unit, temperature controlled, drive up access. Let's just assume they did. All right. I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt. But that seems awfully fucking high. Let's try a different one. Large. That doesn't give prices. All right, self-storage units. Okay, so the max here for U-Haul storage, and she said a storage locker, is $99 a month. And that's for an 8x5 by 7x5 portable storage container. Then we have a 12 by 40 by 99 for $90 a month. Indoor storage. All right, we're gonna go drive up storage. Yeah, it's about $100 a month. All sizes large. All right, it's showing about $100 a month for a unit. So let's just assume they had the biggest one possible, 300 and change. I don't buy it. I don't think nobody spends that much money on storage. And I really don't think they had that much stuff. So, but let's just assume they did. Taking this stuff out of storage for 3 months is pretty much what his plane ticket would have cost. And her hotel, her food, everything that full week cost them. I'm not buying it. There's no logical reason why they would take money to pay for a hotel for her, because we know she didn't stay on her own in the van. Pay for a hotel for a week. Fly him home. That money is airfare. When all of that combined isn't as much as the storage. So they're not saving any money. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I don't know if I believe that he flew home. Thank you, Jana. I think he took off on her to teach her a lesson, got back, and she had been A-okay without him, then realized she couldn't would leave him. Yeah, I don't think that's how that went down. But I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I just don't think that's what happened. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just, I don't know. That's one of those things, I don't know. Glowed in the dark. It was toxic. They were a very strange couple. We spent $650. Yeah, but Kim, you also paid $1 million for Hulu. We spend $650 a month on a storage, but I own a business. Yeah, I don't think they had that much stuff. Thank you, Bam. I just don't think they had that much stuff. It's not like, they had a full house or a 2-story house that they have a storage unit for. That's why I don't think it was that much. Dad got her a pizza on the 24th because she couldn't dial out or something. So she got a hold of her dad, which that doesn't even make sense either because you can order it online. So if she got a hold of her dad, she should have been able to get a hold of a pizza place. I don't know. But that didn't make sense to me either, but I don't think her dad's lying. So there's just a lot of little things that don't make sense. And some things we just can't prove either way. Can't prove or disprove. Didn't she all say came to get something? The sister, she did. But this also, thank you, Bam, this also leaves it to interpretation. Was he premeditating her death or was it a crime of passion? If he was logically thinking, if he was taking stuff out of the storage unit to put in his house or somewhere else, does that mean it's premeditated? Probably not. It's not if they were trying to further the trip. I don't know. What doesn't matter if he came home, I'm missing something here. The reason why it matters, Rainey, because it has to do with what I just said in regards to, was this premeditated or was it not premeditated? Did he come home? The theory is that he came home to take her stuff out of storage because he knew that he was going to kill her. That's the theory of why it's so important if he flew home or not. I don't necessarily believe, I believe that it happened in a crime of passion. I don't believe it was premeditated. But if he did fly home and take stuff out of storage, does that mean it was premeditated? That, to me and others, is the relevance of if he flew home or not. But but IMO, the problem is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name, but the problem is the troll that interviewed her did not let her talk that much. So because she couldn't talk so much, there's so many answers that we could have gotten that unfortunately we didn't get. So it's kind of hard to decipher, you know, decipher what she was trying to say, what she was meant to say, what she was gonna say. We don't know. I think when he flew home, she was dead. No, everybody knows she was alive on the 27th. She was alive on the 27th. There's pictures of her on the 27th. He flew home on the 17th to the 24th. She wasn't dead. She was alive. And there's proof she was alive. Now, Rainey, that's my guess. That's what I think the relevance is. But that's my opinion. But that's really, using common sense is kind of the best explanation I can give. And Bam, I don't know if you heard me. Thank you so much. All super chats, very appreciated. I believe after the flight at the Mary Piglet, she took off with the van. He went, no, they didn't take off. She didn't seem the type to stay alone for a week. Monica, I say the same thing. Her mom had FaceTime call with her after he got back. Yeah, she was definitely alive after he got back. He asked her his questions. He sucked at follow-ups. Yeah, he didn't address anything that she was saying. And like I said, there's so much more that could have come out, that could have been said if he had even a clue what he was doing. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to interview right. And they either want to hear themselves talk, they cut somebody off unless they're going the wrong way. Thank you, Nicole. Thanks for taking the national side. It would be easy to sensationalize this and make lots of money like so many. Believe me, Nicole, it's tough. It is tough that I got to stick to my guns. You know, I know that there are people like you and Bam and, you know, my my subs, my Patreons, you know, my members. I can't sway from who I am, and not even for money, not for views, not for clicks, because I know what I'm saying is logical, and I don't agree with sensationalizing, even if majority doesn't believe with me or doesn't, you know, agree with me. Yeah, when you interview, you have to, I mean, you can cut somebody off if they're going in a direction that is just taking it off path, and then you bring it back to reality. But for the most part, you let them talk. After Piggly was out on foot and hitchhiking alone looking for her. No, they left together. It's been said they left together. She went back in to apologize, and they left together. They were seen leaving together. So that's not true. He didn't take off on her. Now, has anyone not seen the interview with his sister? Like, does anyone want me to play it again? Let me know. We going wild with speculations. I spec a bear and a gun and a ricochet tree accident. He runs in a panic. You never know. But I don't believe a gun was involved. You know, I've had different theories about what actually happened in a couple of different times, but I'm sticking with it was a crime of passion. I really believe he strangled her to death. I do. Unless he beat her to death because he was escalated and he was, you know, pissed, but I just don't see that happening. Cops stopped them after the Piggly Wiggly. No, the cops stopped them on the 12th. That pullover that we see was the 12th. The Piggly Wiggly was the 27th. I've seen it 3 times, but you were the first. Sweet. Give me a 1 if you want me to play the interview again. Give me a 2 if you've seen it too many times. Oh, another thing I want to address. Another thing I want to address is the murder of the girls, the lesbian couple. Let me double check something. Hold on. I don't want to give a wrong date. I'm pretty sure that I'm correct. Yeah, Randy, they worked at a different bar. They worked at a bar, I forgot the name. But that was on the 12th, the day they got pulled over. When they left that bar is when they got pulled over, but they were heading out of Moab. Okay. So Kylan and Crystal with 28, 24, and 38. They set up for a camping trip in Grand County Outback, not far from their home in Moab, Utah. They were newlyweds who were known for in their small community. Their families last saw them on August 14th. I thought they would died on the 12th. They were last seen on the 14th, where they shared a drink at Woody's Tavern on Moab's Main Street before setting off on a camping trip in the mountains. When the two didn't show up for work on Monday, community began to worry. The couple was experiencing homelessness at the time. Cindy Hunter, a mutual friend, started to search for them on the 14th. She noticed the couple's van and motorcycle parked outside McDonald's where Turner worked. At first, she was looking for an accident, expecting to find the two crashed on the side of the road. When Hunter got up to the mountain, she received intel from Kylan's father, Sean, that he received a text earlier from the pair talking about a creeper dude near the campsite that caused them to move. Hunter finally saw the couple's car parked near Warner Lake and called the police at once. On August 18th, after a police search, a couple were found dead of a couple of gunshot wounds. While the motive for the double homicide is still unknown, Kylan's Aunt Bridget confirmed a Wednesday Facebook post where the woman saw a creep lingering around the campsite. Kylan and Crystal told close friends that there was a weirdo camping near them that was freaking them out. Calvert posted, and that they should move campsites. Now they've been missing for 4 days and nights. So it actually happened a little later than I thought, but they were already long gone from that area. So anybody that thinks that Brian did this mass, killing, they were already dead. And by the time they left Moab, they were long gone. They were nowhere near this campsite. So with Brian coming home on the 17th, yes, I can see why conspiracy theorists might find that a little odd, but I'm just not seeing the connection. And forget the fact Brian's a killer, or we allegedly a killer. I wouldn't describe Brian as some really creepy guy that's hanging around. And where was Gabby? To me, it just doesn't make sense. So I really don't believe that it's connected at all. I think they were long gone out of Moab. They were already heading towards Wyoming by this time. Or Salt Lake City. I don't know how far Salt Lake City, Utah is from Moab, but I understand where the conspiracy theorists can link this, but I'm just not. For lack of facts given to us, FBI is watching us scramble for theories. Yeah, I agree with that too. They were last seen on the 13th. The initial article was wrong. Oh, this was written on August 20th. So then I was right. It was the 13th. So then this article's wrong. Okay, because that would make sense. Petito, all right, so this was the original article. Petito and her fiance, Brian Laundrie, were at the same LaSalle Mountains campgrounds where recently married couple Crystal and Kaylin were murdered last week. I don't know. I have honeysuckle bam. Creeper and creepy, two different things. Yeah, I just don't see Brian as looking like that creepy dude. That to me looks like, a guy with a beard and just gross. Because like creepy is creepy. The night of the 13th. Okay, yeah, they were gone already. I do have honeysuckle. But according to the FBI, there's no link. Petito's family has been urged by legal counsel to not discuss her relationship with Laundrie with the media. Let me repeat that. Petito's family has been urged by legal counsel not to discuss her relationship with Laundrie with the media. Yeah, I don't think he's a serial killer. I just don't. I really don't. If anything, in my opinion, of him being involved, the only way he would actually be involved is if it was, if the serial killer that killed them also killed Gabby. That's the only way I would say being involved. But if that's the case, we would have known by now. Huh. All right. So, any questions? What's up, Nikki? Any questions? Because that's really the one thing that everyone keeps talking about is, what did she know? And like I said, I just don't think she knows anything. Maybe wrong, but I can't check the feeling these murders are related. Not if you believe that he killed Gabby, I don't think they're related. And I think that if he didn't kill Gabby, we would know already. That's kind of where I'm at. That if it wasn't him, we would know it wasn't him. You know, the FBI would say it wasn't him. But I don't know. I really, in my heart of hearts, don't believe he's a serial killer that went around and killed these people. I just don't. Now, do I think that the guys, the other men that are being killed or the missing people, do I think that could have something to do with it? Absolutely. Can we hack into the FBI file case? I wish I could. I'd make my bank accounts really high. But I don't have that kind of power. I wish I did. I don't think Cassie knows anything either. Couple's murder and Gabby's murder are 100 miles apart. Yeah, I don't know. If I saw a creepy guy hanging around, I'm switching campsites. I don't know why they didn't leave. If they were really freaked out by him, I don't know why they didn't leave. Yeah, Ellie said he's not connected to the two women. But at the same time, if they don't have a witness yet, they don't have a suspect, they can't really say that. But I absolutely don't believe they're connected. I think Cassie don't know anything, but I feel Cassie knew something was suspect. I think Cassie doesn't know anything, but I feel like Cassie knew something. Huh? That doesn't make sense. Lioness, and I understand that. I don't see it. I really don't. I would have been long gone too. I agree. If someone creeps me out like that, I'm out. Sorry. Bye. Have a good day. I don't know why they stuck around. But hindsight's 20/20. I mean, the positive, at least they died together. You know, it's one thing to die alone or die with your partner, but it's in a way, it's nice that they did die together. Mimo. Send the authority. Yeah, I don't know. I never really looked into that. I just don't know. FBI has much access to things we don't. Exactly. I feel like Cassie doesn't know anything with Brian, Dad, and Mom, but I feel like Cassie knew something was going on between them a lot. Maybe. That's possible. I won't rule that out. That's definitely possible. But again, if Brian wasn't violent or Brian, you know, like, it's not something that you think about. It's not where your mind's going to go, like your brother's going to kill his girlfriend and spend the rest of his life in prison. I mean, we all saw Chris Watts. You just don't think that that's going to be your brother or your son. So I don't think their minds ever, or your daughter. And I just don't think their minds ever took them there. I don't think that any of them thought that murder was even possible. You know, I think Cassie just thought, all right, I won't ask questions. He's probably upset about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see, unless he was violent or, you know, he knew she was going to end up dead, then I could see them saying their minds are going to go there. But I don't think their minds ever were going to go there in the first place. You know, like, all right, so we won't ask about her because we know, you know, she's all right. She's not dead. Mind just doesn't go there. He is the new CW. I agree. And he's creepy like him. He looks like him. He gives me Chris Watts vibes. Always did. I'm like, ew. Because he didn't have any past violent chart. No, he had nothing. It's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for. Exactly. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's... If he was violent and he was a violent criminal and he always beat her and then she disappeared, your mind's going to go there. Your mind's going to say, you know what? I bet he killed her. Or if there was heavy domestic violence, I bet he killed her. But if there was none of that, your mind's not going to go there. You're not going to say, oh, I bet he killed her. You're just going to say, okay, she probably left him. He pissed her off and she left. No, I don't, Lioness. I mean, unless he took mushrooms or something, he found some mushrooms on the land, maybe. I mean, they were in a national park. You never know what you find. But do I think he was like snorting cocaine or doing meth or anything like that? No. He didn't even like drink out of bottles. So, no, I don't believe there were drugs involved. No, I agree with you, Texas, that nothing's impossible, but you also have to look at logic. You have to think logically, even though anything is possible. He could have been snorting cocaine. He could have been smoking crack. I mean, there's a million things your mind can come up with. A million. I could say, hey, guess what? I bet that he beat her, he beat her every day because she can't tell me he didn't. And he kept everything quiet, and he was a meth head, and he was smoking meth and smoking crack, and he freaked. I mean, anything is possible, but you have to use logic. Don't yawn. Also on Brian's Pinterest, he pinned acid, LSD tabs, and weird. I don't know. Brian has a Pinterest? You sure it's him? Weed usually helps me tolerate more. Yeah, he could have been a pot smoker, but pot usually doesn't make you violent. The odds of pot making you violent are pretty slim to none. Welcome. Debunked? What was debunked? I'm from Wyoming. We have to import mushrooms. They're not native. See, there you go. There you go. There's my answer. I mean, do I see someone like Brian and Gabby doing mushrooms? Yeah, I do. But do I think that's what happened? No, I don't. Wyoming doesn't have mushrooms there? I would think they did. Everyone's got acid tabs. Don't leave without hitting that thumbs up. Oh. I just watched a doc where everyone thought Ellie wasn't trying to solve a murder because of the victim's heritage. When they finally got the case files, they were like, oh yeah, there's thousands of documents on a case, any case. So now here's my other question though. Where do you guys think Brian is? I have a hard time believing that Brian is outside somewhere. I said this days ago. Where do you guys think Brian is? Why is it obvious they wanted her silent? Because she's got a big mouth. FBI is very tight-lipped. They could have so much more than we could ever dream. Oh, absolutely. I believe he's inside too. Pinterest is Brian's. I can give you the name. It's shocking what he has pinned. Alright, what's the name? Brian is hiding in my attic. I don't have an attic though. Think they rented him a house somewhere? Yeah, but wouldn't there be a paper trail of that? South America? That's a good guess. I believe he's inside too. I don't think he's outside. She showed arrogance and snidiness? I don't think so at all, Quinny. I think she showed frustration. I saw frustration. I did not see arrogance. Uh, all right, let's take a look. Brian's Pinterest. Hey, you can message him. Say, what's up? Where are you? Where you at? There you go. I messaged Brian Laundrie. You saw it here first. Um, okay, his Pinterest is pretty boring. You think he's dead or alive? I think he's alive. What's up, Patty? I think he's alive. Brian Laundrie, 8.6 thousand followers, 144 following. That's what I was given. Where do I get all... Oh, right here. Okay. I see a typical artist. Johnny, he's here. He changed his name. When I look at his Pinterest, I see a typical artist. Get a van. Build your home. Yeah? Alright, goodbye. Hang on, I gotta let the dog in. As it's pouring. I'm coming. Come here. Come here. Gotta wipe you off. hookah. He got caught in a rainstorm. Nikki, I agree with you. You can tell this is when they were redoing the van. Get rid of any dirt or debris.
Hooks from Amazon have become our best friend and work so well for hanging decorations. We installed these sliders so that we could easily get to all of our camping gear and our clothes. We built these wheel well boxes for extra insulation and added storage. And we added this bumper so James wouldn't hit his head every time he tried to get into the van. Thanks for watching. Follow us for more.
So this is when they had the idea for the van.
Today we're going to show you how we cook while living on the road. Our van is small, so to avoid cooking inside, we made this pull-out kitchenette that we use to cook all of our meals on. These leather straps hold everything in place while we drive, so to use our kitchenette, we unbuckle them, fold them under, and pull it out. This front section is where we store our spices, sauces, and grains. We then lift up the top, take out our little end table, and pull out our camp stove. Once everything is set up, we then connect it to a gas line that sits within our van.
That's pretty cool.
And that's it. Dinner is served.
That's pretty cool. Nah, it wasn't Gabby. It's someone on TikTok. So this was their planning for the van. And that's most of his Pinterest. Her tattoos. Didn't the mom say she designed her tattoos? I thought her mom said she designed them. I guess she didn't design all of them. Personally, I don't know why she did this. I don't know why you'd put tattoos on your hands like that. That's a personal thing, though. Like, this to me is ugly as shit. But that's personal. That's just personal taste. Like, when you're 90, this is not going to look good. So that's just me, though. Oh, just the one with the triangle. Okay. I don't know what you guys are seeing in this, because I'm seeing nothing. Hannah's better comes off. I agree. Like, who would get that? What a dumb tattoo. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing anything dark and creepy on his Pinterest. I see normal characters that then carry over to tattoos. If you scroll at the bottom, okay, what's creepy? I see tattoos. That's it, Lioness. Yeah, what do you see that's creepy? I don't see anything creepy. I don't know. I see nothing. He does have a lot of pins. But he's an artist. This is the end. There's nothing creepy here. I love you. Wedding gown. A lot of girly stuff. Ah, Bob Ross, fuck you. That's kind of weird. Kind of cool, but kind of weird. Someone says, isn't this tattoos that Gabby's mom and stepmom got? No. Similar, but different. So we know Brian's an artist. We know Brian likes tattoos. We know Gabby likes tattoos. There's nothing in here that's creepy. That's cool. So if I didn't know any better, yeah, it said dead inside, but that's a lot of people. That's like a lot of things. He likes clowns. He likes Kermit the Frog. Like, I'm looking at this from an outside perspective. There's nothing creepy about it. Now he gets into the van build. A lot of outdoor van build. And that's it. Trying to see when his last pin was. there's no comments on anything. That's what I find odd. You tell me these crazy people didn't leave comments? I don't know. But I don't see anything wrong. Sorry. I wish I could say otherwise. But I don't see anything wrong. I see a typical artist. And someone that built a van. I'm just not seeing anything. Wouldn't think he'd update it as it could be traced. Yeah, that's why I was looking for the last pin, but you can't even find it. I figured, you know, I can go by comments, but you can't. There's like no comments for anything. I'm gonna leave him another comment. Where you at? Yeah, I'm the only comment. I don't know. I don't see much there. I really don't.
You're watching Chef Club. Follow our account for more ideas.
Damn, that looks pretty good.
You're watching Chef Club. Follow our account for more ideas.
This looks good. It's potato. Now, I think it's regular potato. I agree with you. The music's annoying. This is like way too fattening. I would never eat this, but it does look good. Shit'll give you a damn heart attack. Why did you have a hot dog and a sandwich? That looks pretty good, though. I wouldn't eat it, but it looks good. All right, one more.
Here in each little muffin tin.
Pour whiskey in a muffin
Some will be a
pan.
little bit more than others. Make sure to know which ones are. Put that to the side, and of course you got to add ice if you want a whiskey on the rocks. Place it right in the middle, and then just spread it out over each cup. From there, we're going to go in with our water. I like a little bit of water for each one.
Why, you have ice.
Maybe a lot, maybe a little, maybe a lot, maybe a little, maybe a lot. All right. And now the last thing that you probably never add to your whiskey on the rocks is actually going to be tarragon. So this is chopped up little tarragon, and this is going to infuse into the whiskey, and it's going to pair very, very well with it.
Hey!
All right, so just place them in the freezer. I'm going to put it in a little bit of hot water. It's going to help kind of ease it out. So what you can try to do, got some toothpicks here, get on one end, push down, and you can pull up. So we got a little ice cube there. But now, follow me here. So I have my huge hamburgers. I'm going to take my picks, and I'm going to go down in them and make little holes. So you're going to do, you're going to grab some Worcestershire sauce.
Hey!
You're going to pour it right over the top, and this is going to help it to sink in into the hamburger meat. I like a little spice, so 1, 2. And then lastly, because I want to help caramelize what we're going to be doing next, is going to be brown sugar. This is dark brown sugar, of course. Take your hand, massage it in, and just to let you know, guys, it already smells wonderful. Flip it over, press it down, wash your hands, make sure you do this. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Add a little bit of the Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of Tabasco, and then also our brown sugar right on top. Alright, so you're going to rub in with the last one. I'm going to take my other hand that I didn't use on the meat. You're going to place in. And once you get here, use your other hand, press down. Alright. Do the same thing for this one. Press down into it. Everything's good. And now this is actually going to seep into the burger while it's cooking with a little bit of steam, and then we're going to flip it over to then caramelize the other side. Repeat the same process here, just making it easy for yourself. And now what the whiskey is going to do is not just marinate the burger. Woo! It's actually going to add a lot of great flavor to it as well. And we got some big burgers in the house today.
Wouldn't it make it watery?
Sizzle. All right, awesome. Going to place my bun on top, and yes, it does have a hole in it. And you might ask why. I'm going to take some fries. It's a little bit easier at this point to kind of push it in. Now follow me here. So here's a cool little thing that I like to do for my friends at home. I'm going to use that empty Jack Daniels bottle. I'm going to pour in the cheese sauce. It'll drip in, trust me. Alright, so now just going to take that out. Going to rev. Now does that look cool? So what you're going to do with this This is going to kind of be your little pour. So the little Jack Daniels that is still left in there, it's now going to pour over it. So it's going to fuse that much more. So you can give it a little pop like a ketchup bottle.
Yeah, but you can't eat it then. There's too much
so it's
cheese
all
on
for the
it.
show for you and your friends.
Disgusting. You know who would like that?
All right, so
Yeah.
you're probably
I was
wondering
gonna say
and
that.
asking yourself, how are you going to eat the drunk burger?
Exactly.
Well, do like anything, a little bit at a time.
I hope you're almost ready to leave.
No, that's really
What?
good. Probably got
We
it
have to
all
leave in like
finished,
40
but-
minutes.
Where?
Yeah,
Football
where?
practice.
Until next time,
Phoenix
guys.
has physical therapy. I can't.
3:30 to 5:30.
Phoenix has physical therapy at 4 o'clock.
You can email my coach.
What time you have to be there?
3:30.
Oh, you better get ready. 'Cause you're going to go a little early.
You can email.
I'll drop you off. No, I'll drop you off and then take Phoenix to physical therapy.
How long is physical therapy gonna take?
An hour.
An hour?
Mm-hmm.
How far is physical therapy?
It's not far.
Because I don't want to be there like 20 minutes early.
Oh, you're going to be. No, not if it's at 3:30.
It starts at 3:45.
Just go get dressed.
It starts at 3:45.
All right, go get dressed.
I have to shower and stuff.
All right, we'll go.
I'm gonna take at least.
Stop wasting time here.
I was gonna tell you.
Jeez. Bye, Texas. So, as you guys heard, I guess I gotta go. I wouldn't eat that burger. That burger was, like, stupid looking.
My dad would.
So, alright. Now that we learned some recipes, now I have to take him to football, and then I gotta take Phoenix to physical therapy. I will be on my other channel at physical therapy. Ooh, the sun came back up. Good. I'll be back on my other channel during physical therapy as usual. So, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. If anything comes up, you know where to find me. And I will see you guys later. It's only 2:44 here. So, chop chop. Thank you guys for the super chat. Thank you guys for everything. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Joe Murray will be here. Retired detective and current attorney. So, save all your questions for him, any legal questions you got, and I will see you guys later.